What we all agree when it comes to the backstop on Ireland and Northern Ireland is that, one, we never want to have to invoke it because we want to spend the transition period, the implementation phase, negotiating a new trading partnership between the EU and the UK that means we never have to invoke it. And we both agree that it should be temporary, that if it does have to be invoked, it should only apply unless and until we have a new agreement in place. But thirdly, though, we all recognise that it can't be time limited in the sense that it can't have an expiry date. It only comes into force if we don't have an agreement to supersede it, and it only ceases to be enforced when we do have an agreement to supersede it. And that's why it is intended to be temporary. As a European as well as an Irishman, we couldn't have a situation whereby the United Kingdom had access to the single market, which is our market, and at the same time was able to undercut us in terms of standards, whether it was environmental standards, health, labour laws, state aid, competition. And I don't think any country or any union would be asked to accept that.
March 29, this extension might be floating around a bit.
So there's a bit to go yet, but I think in describing that, in many ways, it does describe how difficult Brexit is for all of us. A former minister said to me, I think it was a day or two after the referendum, he said to me, some people see Brexit as a storm, you know, a passing squall that will be very rough and will then pass. But it's not. It's what Brexit is it's the political equivalent of climate change. It's a permanent change, not in the weather, but the climate, when it comes to relations between Ireland and the UK and the UK and the EU. So even after we get through this phase, which is the withdrawal agreement, the Irish Protocol, and the joint political declaration on the future relationship, we will then have to get into the next set of talks, which is around at least 2 new treaties.
Summit so far in November.
Yes, the weather